they can be brought to the polls.
And what about just people that are patriots of every race, color, and creed that aren't liberal or conservative, that are just common sense, saying, hey, I'm doubling down. I'm going to go out and find 4 or 5 of my friends that are liberal on some issues but aren't suicidal for the country, and I'm going to take them by the hand and go get them to register to vote.
Look, I'm working with a group called the Committee to Restore America's Greatness. That's all they're going to do is locate and register 1 million new Trump voters.
So that's the place to go to learn tips and what to do?
We will be rolling this out shortly. The Trump campaign has not announced a massive voter registration drive. I think it's an absolute necessity as a political professional, as someone who's a veteran of 9 Republican presidential campaigns, starting with Nixon, through Reagan, Bob Dole, still doing penance for helping the Bushes. That's why I had to write the book. I can tell you this is the key to victory. That's how close this is going to be. It's the only hedge against vote stealing by the Clinton machine. So I'm going to be putting my back into voter registration. A goal very simple: 1 million new Trump voters.
You could even call it something like red-blooded Americans. We're of every race, color, and creed. We love freedom, and we're for Trump. We're for the Republic. Red-blooded Americans.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you've got the Never Trump operation. Now, this just continues to confound me. Look, Bill Kristol is a friend of mine. I like Bill Kristol. We don't agree on hardly anything. He really should get out of politics and stick to starting wars and writing, because he's a writer. Here's the point. You telling me that the conservative Republican members of Congress, the people who gave us an 80% increase in our $13 trillion debt, they're worrying about soiling themselves by endorsing Donald Trump? Please give me a break. Or those who say, oh, he's not a conservative. Well, what kind of conservative are they? The kind of conservatives like George W. Bush, who tells us Islam is a peaceful religion and who brought us into an endless war with no point? Or Donald Trump, who says, let's find ISIS and destroy them? I know which kind of conservative I am.
And they don't want the wars here. They just want to keep them going forever. I talked to the special ops guys, Delta Force, you name it, the Marines, the Navy, all of them. They go, look, whenever they turn us loose, we wipe them all out. We have to sit there in bases and let them attack us.
Well, the idea of a third candidate, an independent candidate, who now turns out to be a writer at the Weekly Standard, this is some kind of fraternity joke. Here are your choices: Hillary Rotten Clinton or Donald Trump. Those are your choices. Terrific piece today by Richard Viguerie, an old friend of mine, a real purist conservative, but who makes the case that for conservatives, this is the only choice. Trump is the only choice, and the Never Trump people need to get over it and get on board.
We've got more to cover about the VP and stuff, but let's go to the calls. Let's talk to Ben in California. He was at San Jose anti-free speech rally where a woman was beat up, and the news said she deserved it. The mayor's like, you know, get hit in the head with a Mexican flag and an egg in your face that cut it, get punched in the eye, a bleeding woman. And it's racially motivated. It's crazy. And, man, I love Hispanic people. That's not just like some one-off. I mean, it's true. I like everybody, but I really like Hispanic folks, like the culture, the food, everything. I don't like how Mexico's degenerated into a narco-terrorist state and how the culture pushed by the media is gangbanger 18-year-old thugs who've been in and out of juvie hall running around beating up women. I mean, come on, folks. You really going to endorse a bunch of Mexican gangbangers beating up people? And I mean, come on, folks. I mean, don't people understand that condoning this is going to create major division in this country, and that's why they're allowing this to happen and why they're endorsing it, is to create silent, cloistered, white, fearful racism, so that we can all be managed as racial groups like prisoners. I mean that's my view. But it's going so far, and then we're going to go to Ben.
I think it's a mistake. Here's why. Because at the end of the day, I think Hispanic voters care more about economic opportunity. They care about getting their piece of the American dream. They care about getting their piece of the economic pie. And the only person who's going to allow them to do that is Donald Trump. He's a job creator. He understands the economy. He's got a terrific tax reduction plan that is pro-growth and very dynamic. And at the end of the day, Hispanic Americans can choose between opportunity and prosperity and hate, because that's all they're churning out is hate.
Well, I'll say this. When Latin America was right-wing it had some of the wealthiest countries in the world. And sure, they had some bad right-wing groups there, too, that they exacerbate. Oh, the right wing killed 5,000 people. The communists will kill like 300,000 in countries when they take over in Latin America. You know, I'm not saying it's a lesser of two evils, but, I mean, free market is what makes things operate. It's all the countries that have it, even in limited form, are the ones that have jet airplanes and swimming pools and jobs and highways and a chance to get wealthy. You bring in collectivism, it's some kingpin who says he's a leftist in a red shirt sitting up in an armored compound while you live in a mud hut. I mean, Latin America could be this giant glowing jewel, and instead it's gone to hell in a handbasket, and the leftists just want to keep everybody down. I mean, and people say, well, what about the left-right paradigm? It's been controlled because the right's been phony. But the establishment is going after humanity from a leftist perspective. I mean, look, Roger, you're involved in a lot of libertarian causes. I know you're involved in, marijuana decriminalization. You have businesses in that. More power to you. You're involved in a lot of stuff they call liberal. You've gone after right-wing extremist candidates before yourself. I don't like that. I don't want monotheists telling me how to live, whether they're Christian or Muslim. So I really think it's about terms here. We are the classical liberals, the constitutionalists. We're the real progressives. These people are a cult of control freaks.
Yeah, I look at it in a slightly different way. At a certain juncture, I figured out that the left-right confrontation was really just a Hegelian device to distract us from the fact that there's an elite whose only interest is not ideological. They're neither left nor right.
They play both sides.
They're interested in control, power, and wealth. That's what they're interested in. And therefore, I probably have more in common with many Bernie Sanders supporters than I do with some traditional Republicans. The truth is, however, that this election is between the insiders and the outsiders. It's not between the Republicans and the Democrats like our past presidential elections. It's the Republicans and Democrats together versus Donald Trump and the people of the United States of America. It's never been more naked,
because it doesn't matter he's worth $8 billion. He's never been part of their club. He's always done it on his own. He's arrogant. He thinks he's smarter than them. Looks like he is. He's trying to come in and take over their whole pie. They don't know whether he's just taking it from them or is going to reform it. All they know is they've hijacked everything. They think it's theirs, and Trump's saying, no, it's not. Is that it?
Well, what did Newt Gingrich mean when he was asked why the Washington establishment so disliked Trump? And he said, well, he doesn't belong to the secret society. He's never taken the oath. He doesn't know the handshake. Now, maybe it was rhetorical.
It wasn't.
But maybe it wasn't. He is not part of the Council on Foreign Relations. He's not a member of the Trilateral Commission.
And there is a sexual and a cultic aspect to all these clubs. There's a political one, but to get in deeper, there's another level. Like the average gang says, go shoot an old lady to become a made member. When you get to Skull and Bones and stuff, no, you got to do something else to become a member, and it's sexual. Now, I'm going to leave it at that and go back to phone calls, but you're dead on. By the way, if you're a new viewer, let's find that. Newt Gingrich, Trump's never been part of the secret society. He said that on Fox News. It's not a joke. He really said that. So you're absolutely right. You crystallized it. This is really the end of an era. This is the fall of this corrupt group of insiders that have hijacked both parties. Trump realizes it's this moment in history. He's uncloaking as a patriot, making his move for nationalism to be George Washington Part 2. Is that accurate?
I think that's exactly right.
It's epic. Roger Stone's here with us. It's amazing. This guy, all the angles he's got. Ben in California, thanks for holding. You're on the air from San Jose. Go ahead.
How's it going, guys?
Good, brother. Go ahead.
Hey, I was just two things real quick. Me and my girlfriend were Mexican, and we attended the Trump rally. It is the most disgraceful, embarrassing thing I have ever seen in my life, man. There's people getting beat up, police not doing anything to help anyone. I got everything on camera. I'm telling you, man. And the mayor coming out and saying that Trump needs to be responsible for everything, and it's all crazy, man. The second thing, I think that we need...
Take your time, because you're a witness to this, not just our cameras that are witnesses to what happened. Describe, as just a citizen of America, white, black, Hispanic, you're just a human. You want to go hear Trump speak, whether you support him or not. Tell us if you do. Some people go just to hear, and they get beat up. So what was it like? What did you see?
Okay, first of all, I'm a libertarian, and I just support a lot of what he says. But as we stepped out, there was just total chaos. I mean, everyone was just talking mess to the Trump supporters, calling everyone racist. I mean, everything.
We're going to show some B-roll of that in the background. Tell us what you witnessed.
I just saw, we started walking to my car. I was with my two-year-old son, And, I mean, we were just walking. I was recording everything. People were just talking mess to everyone. And then out of nowhere, some guy got his Trump hat ripped off, some older white male, and they just started beating him. And I told my girlfriend just to go to the car, and I just wanted to stay there and record everything. And the police weren't even helping this man. I was screaming at the police to help him. I have everything on camera right there. I was screaming at the police to help this man, literally 5 feet in front of the police. They were not helping this man. There was like 20 cops, and they were just staring at me. And this guy was just getting beat. And then I seen that happen like 3 other times because I stayed the whole night to record everything. And the police were not helping anything. I don't know what the hell happened. This looked exactly like what happened in Baltimore. I mean, this is crazy right now, man. And
God, they just sucker punched that guy. Well, sir, let me tell you this. I want to get your information. Do you have a YouTube channel? Because if you have this footage, police stand by during racial attack, it should go viral. We need to expose this. This is crazy. And I've got to say, at a certain point, the Second Amendment's going to come involved here. When people are being attacked, this is just amazing. So have you put your footage out yet, sir?
No, I have not. But my second thing I was going to say, I think that we need a whole bunch of constitutionalists to go out, because I was literally the only one of the only males out there that was trying to help these people getting beat up. I was trying to grab these people and get them away from all these crazy people. There's no one out there to help these people. I mean, I think we need a whole bunch of Trump supporters or people that support the Constitution to go out there and protect these people, because these people are just. Yep. I mean, this young boy had a Trump sign, and they ripped it up, and he was just screaming at them like, "This is my opinion. You guys are calling me racist. Like, I'm not even doing anything to you guys." I mean, I think we need people out there to protect these people, man. Like, everyone that can still carry permits, anything, bring out a legal knife. I mean, if these people want to do something stupid, man, it's going to be on them. And in my eyes,
here's the thing, sir. I hear you. The media is trying to spin this and trying to cover this up, and it's just out of control. The communists just want to have some giant civil war. And I look at our military, who on average, some of the most, you talk to top special forces people I know, and they just tell me, hands down, on average, Hispanic Americans are the toughest, hardest fighting, smartest people we've got for this country. And then you've got these communist scum, brainwashed teenagers out here racially attacking white people because they have USA on their shirt. It is just a shame, and I hear you. If I was Hispanic, I would be ashamed of this. I'm ashamed of this as in America. But sir, please get your. I'm going to put you on hold. Overnight at FedEx, whatever. But everybody that's listening that videotapes this stuff, you need to get it up. Do you have a YouTube channel? Can you get this out?
Yeah, I could put it up on my YouTube channel.
What is your YouTube channel? And we'll link to it as soon as you put it up.
Well, I just have a YouTube account. I don't have an actual channel, but I can make a channel and I can send you guys.
I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to have most of my crew's on vacation right now. I'm going to have Darren McBreen get your number from John Harmon, and then we're going to call you in 10 minutes and work through this with you and get this footage uploaded and get it out, okay?
Yes, sir.
God bless you, Ben. Go ahead, Roger.
Look, we should not be surprised that the Clintons are using thug tactics. They've used thug tactics their entire career. These are people who used Arkansas state troopers to have witnesses to their corruption and their sexual crimes beaten, who broke into people's houses, who burned people's houses down, drove people out of the country for fear of their lives, broke into people's cars, smashed their windshields, slashed their tires, killed their pets, threatened their children, threatens their children's friends. The Clintons are thugs. They are worse than the mafia.
The bullying's over, though, and Donald Trump's the spearhead, like on an icebreaker. We're the ship. He's that big iron steel, spike ramming through the ice. Is that it?
That's why they're so apoplectic, because in a guy, they can't co-opt him. They can't silence him. This is like stepping in front of a moving freight train. The day of reckoning is coming, and Donald Trump is going to be the man who brings it.
Throughout history, criminals, whether the communists, the Nazis, they always think they can overrun everybody. And at first they have victory, and they push, and all of a sudden, the sleeping giant awakens. And I can feel the sleeping giant isn't just awake now. It's awake, and it's pissed.
Look, I've been through 9 presidential campaigns. I have never seen anything like this. Reagan was as close as we got, but this is a real grassroots insurgency. I've never seen anything like it. You don't have to call the Trump people to show up. They show up on their own. You don't have to call them to remind them to vote. They show up to vote. I've never seen this kind of grassroots power.
If somebody just thinks they're going to punch me, I can't believe these folks don't fight back, though. But I guess they're smart like Gandhi.
Well, look, I actually think, look, I'm against violence because any kind of violence will be blamed on Trump, no matter who started it.